Can I preach this thing? What I want you to understand is that Satan has a highly organized operation against you. That demons are not disorganized and they are not chaotic. When they come against you, they come in order. They come, the Bible said when Jesus got ready to cast the demons out, said, what is your name? The demon said, we are legions. Legions means we are regimented. We are organized. We march together. You must understand this, that when Satan marches, he marches in a spirit of unity. I would remind you that when they accused Jesus of casting out demons by the power of Beelzebub, he said, oh no, Satan has a kingdom, and Satan's kingdom is not divided. For a house divided against itself shall not stand. I would also remind you that from Genesis to Revelations, you will never see a demon fighting with another demon. You will never see a principality fighting with another principality. From Genesis to Revelations, you will never see a witch fighting against another witch. It's only when you look at church folk that you see preachers fighting against preachers, and churches fighting against churches, and Baptists fighting against Methodists, and Methodists fighting against principalities. It's because we don't understand order. Order. We got to get some order in the house of God. We got to get rid of every chaotic, wild spirit that's out of control, because disorder is a work of the enemy. God is not the author of confusion. Let everything be done decently and in order. Such three people say order in the house, order in the house, order. Get your rebellious hips out. We got to have order in this house. Whether the house is a church or whether the house is a house you live in, there has to come a point that you tell little Junior, if you're going to stay in this house, you got to get yourself together. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Can I go deeper? Not only is the enemy after regions, he's after houses. When I say the enemy's after houses, I don't mean that he's just after your address. He's after everything born out of your loins. When the enemy sends a curse, he either sends it to a city or he sends it to a house. The house of David, the house of Issachar, the house of the Johnsons, the house of the Jakeses, the house of the Longs, the house of the Wilsons. That's why you see certain spirits that run through certain houses. If you will look at your family tree closely, you will find that you are still fighting your grandmama's devil, your mama's devil. Grandma got a divorce, your mama got a divorce, all of your sisters got a divorce, and now your marriage is coming unglued. It's a spirit. Slap somebody and tell them it's a spirit. It's not about him having an affair. It's about a spirit that's come against your house. It's not about you making more money than him. It's a spirit that has come against your house. That's why you ought to be careful whose house you marry into, because some of you married into some spirits. You was happy till you got in that family. Now all hell is breaking loose because you married into a curse that was on that house. Your children come up with something that you ain't never thought of doing before, but somebody in your husband's family knows what's going on, because you tied your children into a system that you don't even understand. Now you got to deal with a Johnson demon, a Jackson demon, a Richardson demon. You don't even know how to minister to the child, because ain't nobody in your house ever come up with no mess like this. But some kind of way you tied them into a God. Lord have mercy. Who am I preaching to in here today? I want to cite some examples so you can understand clearly. Rebecca was a trickster and a con artist. She was a racketeer. She was a deceitful woman. She lied and connived with her own husband, manipulating her own children. Her uncle Laban was a trickster, a con artist, a liar, and a whoremonger. Her son Jacob was a trickster and a supplanter and a con man and a rouseabout, because when the demons get in the family, it says suffer us not to leave the region. I want to remind you of David, dysfunctional from Jesse on down. ostracized by his father. David comes up. Yes, he was anointed, but he was dysfunctional. He was a whoremonger. He had a lust spirit. He had a demon that he couldn't get rid of. It came in through the rejection of his father, and the enemy saw a door open. It planted a seed in his life. David had such a lust problem that when he was an old man, they threw a young woman in the bed, and when he didn't touch her, they said the king is dead. No wonder then that his son Absalom was deceitful and treacherous, and Amnon raped his daughter Tamar, and Solomon had so many strange women that he lost control of the kingdom because there was a spirit in the house. Oh, I can't just spend time talking about Jacob and talking about David. What is this mess going on in your house? Your daughter acting crazy, coming up with stuff at 13 that you didn't run into until you were 25. But that spirit is getting desperate because you're getting in the house of God, and the devil is saying, if I don't get her quickly, I'm afraid that the Holy Ghost is going to run me out of town. I don't know who I'm preaching to this morning, but the Lord sent me into this city, and I